The jaguar, the big cat of the Americas, will be our guide today, ancient explorers. In this video, we will learn about the cat and its special relationship with the ancient Maya. Then later in the video, we will make a jaguar-inspired collage. I have added timestamps below to help guide you through this adventure. Of 6 wild species of cat left in the Americas, the jaguar is the largest and is the only one that belongs to the big cat family. The big cat family, also known as genus Panthera, include also the lion, the tiger, the leopard, and snow leopard. One distinguishing feature of this family is their ability to roar. Because of the colour and markings of their coat, at times the jaguar is mistaken for a leopard. But if you look closely, you will notice that the jaguar's fur has an unusual pattern. It has dots and rosettes. A rosette describes a large and dark spot that is shaped like a rose. If you look closely, you will notice that some of the rosettes are broken and some even have dots in them. Each jaguar has their own unique pattern, but generally speaking, the rosettes can be found on the sides of the animal. The colour of the big cat's fur can also vary. It can be light, tawny or orange coloured, or very dark. The cat's coat helps the animal to camouflage in vegetation. Being able to hide helps the cat hunt. The animal often stalks and ambushes their prey. An excellent hunter, the jaguar likes to eat large prey, such as the peccary and tapir. They will also eat smaller animals, including monkeys, tortoises, and fish. The jaguar is nocturnal and is usually active at dawn and dusk. The cat's eyes are adapted for hunting at night. Their eyes have a tapetum lucidum. This is a structure at the back of the eye that acts like a mirror and reflects light, and this helps to improve the cat's vision at night. Today, the jaguar lives in tropical rainforests in Central and South America. The cat is often found near water and is an excellent swimmer. In the past, the cat's range extended further to include the southwest region of the United States. However, over time, the animal's range has been greatly reduced. In South America alone, the cat has lost more than 38% of its original habitat. Jaguar populations are decreasing, and today the animal is listed as near threatened. Deforestation is a major threat to the animal's survival. As their forest home is broken up, jaguar communities become especially vulnerable to people. Jaguars are often hunted and trapped, and their pelts sold commercially. If you would like to learn how you can help the jaguar, I have left a link in the description box below to the website of Panthera, an organization that is dedicated to helping big cats. Throughout time, the jaguar has been revered by many cultures in both Central and South America, including the Maya. And the animal has been portrayed in art for around 3,000 years. The Maya, one of the best known Mesoamerican civilizations, had a deep and complex relationship with the animal. In various Maya languages still spoken today, the jaguar is called Balam. During the colonial period, after the Spanish conquest, the word Balam was associated with the qualities of bravery, fierceness, and demonstrating great courage in the face of danger in the Yucatec Maya language. Mayan groups living in the Yucatan Peninsula in the easternmost part of Mexico and northern Belize continue to speak this language today. The ancient Maya wrote the word for jaguar in several ways. On the screen, you can see an ancient Mayan glyph for Balam. This glyph represents the entire word. A symbol, like a glyph, that represents a whole word is called a logogram. Look closely, ancient explorers. What qualities or characteristics of the jaguar can you see in the glyph? Balam could also be written phonetically, using signs to represent the sounds ba, la, ma. Finally, a combination of these signs and symbols could be written. The ancient Maya did not always create realistic pictures or images of the animal in their art. Often, they depicted just parts or qualities of the animal, such as their uniquely patterned fur. These images expressed and represented their observations, ideas and beliefs about the jaguar, and also their relationship with the animal. In their thinking and imagination, the animal was closely related to warfare, warriors, and the elite. Let us look at an example. At the ancient Mayan city of Bonapec, located in the Mexican state of Chiapas, there is a building called El Templo de las Pinturas, translated in English as the Temple of Pictures. In 3 rooms of this building, ancient Mayan artisans painted colorful murals. On the screen is a photograph of a section of the mural from room 1. Depicted is an important royal event, the announcement of the successor of Yaju Chan Mawan, the ruler of Bonapec, and his successor was to be his son. The scene depicts a gathering of the ruler's court and foreign dignitaries. And as you can see on the screen, the event included grand processions of musicians and performers. The musician third from the left is wearing a jaguar pelt. In ancient Mayan religion, the jaguar was also associated with the underworld, known as Xibalba. This place was associated with strong emotions such as fear and fright, and also death. And perhaps the animal's close association with the underworld was because of its strength, ability to incite fear, and take life. Meanwhile, in the ancient Mayan imagination, there were also gods and other supernatural beings that possessed characteristics of the jaguar. These beings ruled over different parts of the world. The myths and legends related to these beings were often depicted in ancient Mayan art. On the screen, you can see an example of a visual representation of a story. The artifact is a drinking cup. Chak, the ancient Mayan rain god, is one of the main characters of this story, and on the cup he is represented as a young man in a dance competition with a mountain. The mountain, called Weeds, is depicted as living and in fact is like a mythical monster. It has reptilian features, including large and sharp fangs like a crocodile. At the top of the mountain is a supernatural jaguar baby. The baby was in fact an ancient character. Centuries before the Maya flourished, the character was featured in stories told by the Olmec civilization. As we listen and continue to learn from the contemporary Maya, our understanding of how they see the world today and how they may have seen it in the past grows. And with the knowledge, wisdom and leadership of the Maya and other indigenous peoples of the Americas, we together as a global family can work out ways to protect the jaguar and conserve their habitat. Now, ancient explorers, let us get creative and make art inspired by Balaam the jaguar. The art technique I'll be using is collage. During this activity, I will be using 4 pieces of A4 size heavy-weighted watercolor paper, acrylic paint, a paintbrush and a roller, scissors, and an adhesive. I will be using a glue stick, but you could also use PVA glue. For the collage, I've created a template which you can download from my website for free. The link to my website is in the description box below. I am passionate about encouraging children and adults to harness their creativity. So everything that I do in my videos is simply a guide. If while doing this activity you come up with a new idea or a different or better technique to do something, please follow your flow of creative inspiration. To begin with, I am painting the background for the collage. I've decided to create a jungle scene. I am squeezing generous amounts of green and yellow acrylic paint onto one sheet of paper. Then with a roller, I'm spreading the paint. Once I've covered the sheet, I put it aside to dry. With the same colours, I am now painting a second sheet. This time I've added a few more dollops of yellow paint because I want the green to be a brighter shade. I will later cut leaves out of the sheet. After placing the second sheet aside to dry, I take the next 2 sheets of paper. These will be used to create the jaguar's body. I'm going to paint these sheets orange. I want the colour to be fairly consistent, so to one side of my sheets I'm blending a generous amount of the colours together. Then with my roller I pick up the paint and begin to spread it across the first sheet. As you can see, this activity can get a bit messy, but that's part of the fun. Once you've painted the sheet, put it aside to dry like the others, and move on to the final sheet. Just to add interest to the sheet, I have applied paint unevenly, and as you can see, there are some sections where the paint is really light. Now I'm going to cut out the leaves for the scene. If you're going to use my leaf template, you can do so in different ways. First, cut out one of the leaves. Then you can trace the leaf on the back of one of the green collage papers. Alternatively, you could just simply glue the template to the back of your collage sheet. If you're working with smaller children, this might be a more comfortable way to do the activity. Then with a pair of scissors, cut the leaves out. You can add further decoration to the leaves by painting or drawing the midriff and veins of the leaves. Following the same steps as the leaves, I am now cutting out the various parts of the jaguar. Using a small scrap piece of the orange coloured collage paper, I'm cutting out a rectangle, and this will represent the jaguar's nose or the ridge of the nose. I am now cutting out from the template the irregular shapes that represent the ears. As you can see, I've already cut out the shapes that represent the mouth. After gluing the ears and the mouth to the jaguar's head, I'm now decorating it with black acrylic paint, adding dots, the nose, and almond-shaped eyes. time to decorate the legs and the paws of the jaguar. I start by adding a little bit of white paint to the area that represents the jaguar's paws. Shortly after, I paint black dots of different sizes. From what I've observed, the upper legs of the jaguar often feature large spots. Similarly to the jaguar's paws, I'm painting the animal's chest and belly with white paint. Before painting the jaguar's torso, I first drew the pattern, which includes the rosettes, in pencil. Drawing these lines were just an opportunity to practice drawing the jaguar's unique pattern. To help you paint the pattern, I've included a small sample in the template. Once all of the parts of the jaguar are dry, it is time to assemble the collage. Before gluing the jaguar and the leaves down, have a play and make sure that you're happy with their placement. In the scene, I've also included the logogram for Balaam. I cut the glyph out of the template and glued it to a small rectangle I cut out of the orange collage paper. And there you go, ancient explorers. We have created our very own piece of artwork inspired by Balaam, the jaguar. Thank you for joining me for this creative adventure. As always, I'd love to see what you create. You can connect with me via my social media links, and they are in the description box below. Until our next adventure, ancient explorers, take care and have fun. Ciao.